It's big dog season, and you can't stay still because you want it. Talk that talk, George. You still scraping your plate because you're hungry. Talk that talk.
And thank you for staying up late with us tonight. We have a great show planned for you on The Factor Uncensored. Some great topics as well as some great guests. Welcome to The Factor Uncensored. Tonight we start off talking about a topic that has transformed over decades, and still to this day many people are not fully educated on them. We're talking about sexually transmitted diseases and infections. People that are living with them say the reason why they keep spreading is because of misinformation out there.
Do you see it? You might be able to. That little bump right there. Yeah, that's a herpes outbreak. When I have outbreaks, I get them underneath my arms.
And that's just a sample there. Joining us to talk about it here on The Factor Uncensored is OBGYN Dr. Ebony January, Shadon McCants, who is a long-term HIV survivor, and Jordan Edwards, who is sexually fluid and living with HIV. I want to thank you all for joining us here on The Factor Uncensored. So first of all, let's begin with Shadon. When you got that diagnosis, what was that day like?
Ooh, that day. So I tell people I was 17 years old. I was a senior in high school. I can just tell you a little bit about the story. I actually had what I thought was what I called as a teenager the forever cold, and I had been sick since like September of that year of 1995. Fast forward to November, December, I started to feel, and now I can say, like flu-like symptoms, and I passed out. And I was taken to the hospital. Well, they told me I had meningitis. So
Wrong diagnosis.
Wrong diagnosis. Was treated for meningitis, sent home. Within 24 hours, I was back in the emergency room. 6 days later, 8 spinal taps later, I was still sent home. But because I had a knowing in my spirit, I, at 17 years old, called my doctor and told her, I said, hey, I need you to test me for HIV. And she was like, for what? What I know is, of course, I had a promiscuous background at that time. I was a young girl, like I tell people, looking for love in all the wrong places. 2 weeks later, I walked in the doctor's office with my mother, and she told me, Shadon, unfortunately, you've been diagnosed with HIV. I tell people I heard 2 things on that day. It isn't unto death, and I'm going to use you. So from that moment, I can be honest, I tell people I gave birth to triplets: fear, shame, and guilt. And I lived with those for 23 and a half, almost 24 years, until I decided to share my story. So that day, it was a fluctuation of emotions. It was a numbness, but also a determination to live. Didn't know how I was going to do it because it was in 1995. Right. And what we knew then is that at that time all we knew was
automatically thought it was a death sentence. Yes. And AIDS would be behind that.
Exactly.
And for those who don't understand, tell them the difference between HIV and AIDS. Yes. And that gap between the two.
Yes, thank you for asking that question, because people get it mixed up. HIV and AIDS are not the same thing. Actually, HIV, anyone with an AIDS diagnosis, you are diagnosed with HIV. AIDS is an acquired syndrome as a result of HIV being untreated. And so for me, I was diagnosed with HIV. There are some people that you will hear say that at the time of diagnosis, I received an AIDS diagnosis, but they ultimately were diagnosed with HIV, and it just progressed because of, a late stage diagnosis that they had acquired also AIDS. How do you acquire AIDS? That means that your HIV, of course, is untreated, and that you have a viral load that is very high, but your CD4, which is your T cell counts, are at least 200 or less, and you have what we call an opportunistic infection, which, Doc, I know you can speak to that. But that's what when you acquire AIDS, but your initial diagnosis is always HIV. So you will hear people say that I was diagnosed with AIDS, but then of course their CD4 counts, their T cells, they bounce back, and the opportunistic infection is healed, or they're no longer living with that, and so then they just go to a status of HIV, and hopefully we'll talk about undetectable status.
All right, let's go to Jordan now. Tell us your story, Jordan, and when did you learn?
So I learned in 2013. That's when I got my diagnosis, and I found out I was actually away from home, spending some time with some friends, and I was in a small town, and they came and knocked on the door and told my mother that they need to speak to Jordan Edwards. It's a matter of
who the hell knocked on your door in a small town?
They knocked on my door. I went to.
Was it like the health department, doctors?
It was the health department.
Okay, got it.
Came to the house and asked to speak to Jordan Edwards as a matter of medical emergency. Did not tell her why. Did not tell her in what regard they needed me for. But what that did was they put her in a state of panic. And being in a small town, I got tested for diabetes, high blood pressure, STDs, just to see what was going on with my body.
You were feeling ill?
I was not feeling ill. I was more into going into a relationship, and I wanted to make sure everything was going okay. And so what happened to me was when I went to get my results, I was given a pen out of a box. I was told to not touch certain things. I was told that everything came back clean, is the language. That's the misinformation. And that you're living with HIV. And so it hit me and it stuck me in a different type of way. The numbness from the bottom of my feet all the way to the top of my head, it was like, wait, what? What did they say? And it was for me going into a space of trying to find an actual relationship and find love that happened. And so when it comes down to individuals expecting, I had my past and I was sexually fluid, I was moving around in spaces, but when I actually sat down and took my time and found a relationship, that's how it ended up happening.
All right, we're going to come back and continue your story in just a moment. Still to come here on The Factor. Stretch. This is the misinformation we're trying to clear up. Did you know that sexually transmitted infections and sexually transmitted diseases are not the same thing? Some say what should be common knowledge is not so common at all and is putting a lot of people at risk. STIs are infections passed through sexual contact that may not cause symptoms, whereas STDs are infections that do cause symptoms or health problems. We have our panel here on The Factor Uncensored. Jordan will allow you to pick up.
Yes, thank you. When you asked the question, was I feeling sick? I was not. I didn't have any symptoms, and I think that's the important piece. What I had was a sense of urgency to make sure that I was taking care of myself for the relationship that I was hoping to cultivate. But what I did get, instead of finding love, I got misinformation, and I got, I would say, stigma and attacked by the department, because what they did was they allowed me to feel like I was less than human. And so my job and the work that I do now is to help me to be more of an advocate for individuals to know that they are worthy and that your status does not define how you have to move in your life.
All right, and we appreciate for what you're doing in the community. Dr. January, let's bring you into this conversation. We're here because there has been a lot of misinformation here in the city of Houston, nationwide, where someone put out numbers about the STD cases in Houston. It was actually the entire state, and that person is under investigation. I don't know if that investigation, they did it according to the health department out of their goodwill. But anyway, we're having this conversation today. How important is it to talk about STDs? Is it an issue that people typically don't talk about?
They don't talk about it, but just keep in mind that it wasn't just the actual numbers, it was the numbers of labs that were being tested. Not necessarily the cases of STDs, but more so it was actual lab numbers. So it's very important that we have these open dialogues, because there's so much misinformation. So for example, I put out a post about Halle Berry's diagnosis about the herpes and the misdiagnosis, because they put her into, okay, if she's a certain age group, she couldn't possibly have, it couldn't be like menopause or herpes, she was misdiagnosed. So a lot of times, depending on your age group, some doctors will say, okay, you are prone to this, this, and this, so I'm not going to check you for this, this, and this. So I think that it's important that we understand as doctors that people can have diagnoses that don't fit into an age demographics, but in general, we have to have the conversations about STDs. we are living in a society where there are people with twerking and these kind of things, but if we're doing that and that's very, spread, that's widespread, why don't we talk about STDs? So we have to absolutely talk about it, because people are way more sexual than they used to be, and so now it's time to talk about the ramifications of that, because a lot of times people think, okay, I can just get a pill and I'm done. They don't know about the long-term effects. HIV is a chronic illness, right? And so something that they got to consider, when you go into the nail shop, that, hey, I actually have HIV, so I have to keep these things and take these things into consideration. So it affects your entire life. Not that you can't have a nice normal life, but you have to understand the ramifications of the things that you do.
And in the last 30 seconds we have here, not to encourage bad behavior, but when you look at these two individuals, people may think, look, if I have sex with them, I'll get HIV. But there are miracle breakthroughs that we're dealing with now. There's the drug PrEP, right? And then there's something that masks HIV if you're trying to get tested or you don't pass. So tell me a little bit about that really quick.
So it's more so the numbers, right? As she alluded to earlier, it's the numbers. So if her viral load is low enough, it may not be detected and it may not be able to be spread because of the viral load. So it's really a numbers game to say whether I'm able to pass this along and how much exchange was there.
And what is PrEP really quick?
So PrEP is essentially a medication to help prevent the spread of HIV if I'm going to be sexually active. So it's more of a preventative medication.
All right. We want to thank you guys, your expertise, and you guys sharing your story. We truly appreciate it. You've likely helped someone out there who will not share this story, but you may have given them the boost. So thank you guys for joining us. Stay with us.
Good morning. Today is Monday. It's July 8th. New Year's 2024. It's early in the morning. I'm sitting outside on the deck. It's beautiful out here before the heat come blazing out. I gotta make this video quick and then I'm gonna go walk the doggies. Go take the dogs out for a walk this morning. So anyway, it's a beautiful day out here today. That news report that you all just watched, I hope you all watched that whole news report. It's out of Houston, Texas. Houston, for some odd reason, I don't know why, is #1 in America. It's #1 in USA for HIV infections, syphilis, gonorrhea, all of it, everything. And what is going on in Houston that these STDs continue to spread, especially, well, y'all, guess what? There is no reason for anybody to test HIV positive again in their entire life. This is PrEP. This is the pill version of PrEP. I actually take the injectable version now. I've been on PrEP since 2013. This is 2024, over a decade. Off and on for over a decade I've been on PrEP. The purpose of this is to protect you from getting HIV. So there should be no reason why anyone is testing positive for HIV when this has been on the market and available for free for damn near a decade. Now they have another medication called doxycycline, and this is an antibiotic that you can take. I have it here. I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm trying not to spill it, but anyway, it's a pill. It's a pill. There you are. You can see it. It's a pill. Doxycycline. This is a pill that if you have a sexual encounter, you would take 2 of these pills. 2 of these pills will eliminate you being exposed to syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. So let's say you had sex on Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday, you realize something's not right. You would take 2 of these pills, and that would eliminate chlamydia, syphilis, and gonorrhea. It stops it in its tracks. You just take 2 pills by mouth preferably within 24 hours of sex, when you think that you may have been exposed to syphilis, gonorrhea. This stuff is free. You get this from your doctor. You get this from the health department. It's free. They give it to you. You go in there and say, I want PrEP. I want, there's a name for this doxycycline. I forget the name of this mess. There's a name for this, God, I can't think of the name of it. But anyway, it's free. So there should be no reason for anyone to be testing if you are sexually active, which I know all y'all are, if you are black and sexually active in America, you need to be on PrEP, either the pill or injectable version, or I do the injectable now, and you also get you some doxycycline. I almost said the name of this. Is another form to protect you from STDs. We can't live in this fantasy world, y'all. People are going to have sex. I'm going to have sex. I've never had an STD in my entire life because I've always used condoms or protection. I've been very safe. I've always known my sexual partners. I've never did a one-night stand. I'm just very conservative when it comes to sex because I don't particularly want any STD or STI infection. And I know so many people who have been seriously harmed by these STDs and STI infections. I know so many people who I personally know who are dead now, who died from, of course, what was the most deadly one was HIV and AIDS, but AIDS. But now they have so many medications out there. Nobody should be dying of AIDS in this day and age. But unfortunately, people still are because they won't take their medications. When I hear people say, "Oh man, I tested positive for HIV," and I think, okay, it's 2024. You ain't never heard of PrEP? You ain't never heard this pill that would have stopped you from contracting? You out there having sex with people, y'all? Because y'all, and people out there fucking like dogs in heat. Let's just keep it real. My sex life is pretty boring compared to some everybody else stuff. So y'all, you get people tell me stories, and I just sit back and shout like, "Wow, this is what y'all doing on y'all Fridays, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's all y'all doing." I meet these individuals, and they tell me their sexcapades. I meet guys who are married. They tell me their sexcapades, cheating on their wives, and I'm just saying, why are you doing this? Why would you get married to her if you didn't really want to be truthful to her? Why are you putting her at risk? They ain't running around here trying to find antibiotics and all this stuff because they're scared they didn't get their wife something. I'm thinking you could have avoided that just by, if you're going to be out there cheating on your wife, which you shouldn't be doing, at least wear a condom or do something. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard in my entire life. Gauge straight, I meet them all, honey. When you're in a gym environment and you meet a lot of people like I do, I'm a Jehovah's Witness of the gym. I meet every motherfucker. And they tell me stuff, and I listen. And then people come to me because they say, okay, well, Walter's smart. He can help me with this. Well, I can't help you after you got an STD and you're trying to run around. You need to run your ass on down into the health department. That's what they're there for, and get you some medication. And like, yeah, you might want to slip some into your wife's coffee. Yeah, honey, I made you some coffee. Every morning, he made me coffee. Every morning, you didn't slip some antibiotics in their ass, trying to make sure you ain't got what he got. There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house. There's some holes in this house. They play that in every gym in America. And there's some holes in this house. There's some fucking holes in that damn gym. And that's good. Everybody's working out. I get it. I had an experience recently that was disappointing to me. It wasn't just a friend of mine. He recently got engaged. And it was big to do about this, and they got a ring. There was a lot going on. And long story short, we were in the gym and some conversations were going around. And I was thinking, okay, didn't he just give his fiance a ring? And it was this big hoopla dude. I don't judge people. Maybe it wasn't even none of my business. But I was so disappointed in that nigga. I really wanted to say something like, nigga, I really wanted to say something. And I said, really none of my business. But I was really disappointed that this person was doing what he did. And I was really disappointed. Maybe because my morals are a little bit different. If I'm going to be with somebody, I'm going to be with that person. I gave Real the 20 of the best years of my entire life, and that nigga fucked it up. And a whole nother video, he fucked it up, not me. And it had nothing to do with cheating and STDs and STIs and none of that. That wasn't the issue. Those are minor issues in competing in the scheme of things what took place between he and I. But that's another video. But this coffee sure is delicious this morning. I had skipped coffee the past few days and was doing some tea. Now I'm getting some coffee. Fuck that shit. Houston, we have a problem. Yeah, we got a problem, right? A bunch of hoish ass niggas down there who run around fucking like dogs in heat. Men and women. Nobody's using protection or condoms. Ain't nobody got no prep. Ain't nobody got their doxycycline. Everybody just fucking. Does it make sense? Get you some prep. Get you some doxycycline and we run around like a dog in heat. And I got a lot of friends in Houston, and I listen to their answers and the shit they say, and they ignorant. Ooh, there's some ignorant niggas down there in Houston. Houston, we got a problem. There's some ignorant niggas down there in Houston. And they not from Houston, they from all over the place, but they ignorant as fucking hell. Some ignorant niggas all over America if you stop and think about it. But something about these cities, Houston, Atlanta, and I'm going to have to throw Memphis on this list. There's some ignorant ass niggas in these cities. St. Louis. These niggas are ignorant as hell. But anyway, I hope that you all will listen to my advice. You don't have to have an STD in this day and age. There's so much medicine out there that works. If you're going to be having sex and you ain't using protection, you're not using a condom, and you get you some prep, get you some doxycycline and take your little medications and try not to pass, because it don't make no sense for nobody dead in this day and age. Prep went around for. So I am on injectable prep. I take injectable prep every 60 days. However, starting next year, they will have a version of injectable prep that you will take every 6 months. So every 6 months, you run on down there to the health department or wherever you're going to get it from. Take a shot and you good to go. That prep only protects you from HIV. So you got 6 months covered. Now, in Africa, they have been doing trial tests with these injectable medications for the past few years, and the test was so good that they're putting all these. With HIV, they still have a huge HIV crisis over in Africa, parts of Africa. But they've been using the injectable prep over there now, testing it out, and the results were so damn good that they stopped the test and they started giving it to all the participants because it worked so well, far better than these pills. And it may have to do because the injectable, you only have to worry about taking it. The injectable prep that they were testing in Africa was every 6 months, and it worked out extremely well. And they've been testing it for the past few years. So I know how and I don't want to hear nothing you ignorant ass niggas got to say about medicine and how y'all hate it and you don't want to take it. You don't want to take your blood pressure medication. You don't want to take your diabetes medication. You don't want to take your HIV medication. You don't want to take your mental health medication. You don't want to take shit, but just sit there and look stupid. Ignorant ass niggas, but just smoke crack and weed and mollies and methamphetamine, and I think, oh my God, you won't take this stuff. I used to go to this barber, and this man had about 6 or 7 kids. He was cutting my beard, and he used to always say, I ain't taking that blood pressure medicine. And I'm thinking, I thought one day I just had enough of it. I said, nigga, do you really want to see your kids grow up? I mean, I take my blood pressure medicine every single day because I want to live. You got 7 children, something worth living for, and you must not want to see none of them kids grow up. You are bragging that you won't take your blood pressure medication and you're going to end up dead over here. Are you? And everybody was kind of looking, they were laughing. I was like, they was like, he don't know no better. I said, no, he got to know better because he got 7 children at home. You in here cutting hair all day, standing on your feet. And, I mean, this got to be, how difficult can it be just about high blood pressure medication pill? What the fuck wrong with you niggas? I stopped going to him because he was just so fucking ignorant. I couldn't get through to him. And, I mean, high blood pressure medication. You don't want to take medication, but you're not doing any of the right things. Drinking. Every time I go in there, I smell beer on his damn breath. Early in the morning, he cut me out. I said, this nigga, you won't take that blood pressure pill, but you'll show Papa drink a 12-ounce beer before you. It's early in the morning time, before 12 noon. The only time I drink in the morning time is I'm on vacation on a cruise ship someplace. I said, I'm going to give me a damn Bloody Mary for breakfast this morning. I wish I was on a cruise ship now. versus sitting here outside. He about to take these dogs out and mop these damn floors. It rained over here. I moved some of the furniture around the house, so the house is a lot, it's a little bit better. And I have a guy in here who's doing some punch-out stuff. He's doing some damn good work in here, too. Just taking his sweet-ass time. That motherfucker slow as hell. I'm like, are you done yet? I've been in here for days. I'm like, okay, this is I'm going to the gym. Just lock the door when you leave. He's okay. Sitting in there working. But he is doing some good work, so I ain't going to complain. Because I got back in here Saturday. I saw some of the work he was doing. I was like, oh, this looks good. It's some punch-out stuff. Stuff, little small things that... Y'all, this is a big-ass house. There's a lot of punch-out in here. Then I got to get a painter in here to come back in and paint the whole fucking house over. Because I'm looking around here, I'm like, all this shit need to be repainted. I need a damn good painter. Won't make a mess and do this shit right. I need to start interviewing painters. I get the interior of that paint done right, because they fucked it up 2 years ago and they painted. I need to get it painted correctly, wall sanded, and painted in here. Sure, why can't I win the fucking lottery so I can go someplace and live in a brand new penthouse someplace? Lord have mercy. But here I am, beating up on this old house. Actually, I want a painter just come in here, do one room at a time. Go through it, one room at a time, nice, and then do the next room. Just one room at a time. I don't care. You do it 1 week at a time. I don't give a fuck. You knock out that one room. I don't want all this stuff torn apart in here. I just want one room, carefully painted, done right, correct some of the shit in this damn house, sand them walls down, starting this kitchen area. One room in this sunroom. Get up there, get some ladders in here, get the paint in this damn shit. I need to start interviewing. I had some Hispanic guy. He came over here. He fell out because his price was too high. And I told him to get the fuck up out of here. I had to give him a call. Okay, I thought about it. I will. I'm not against giving somebody a chance. But he came in here. I know this is a little different video, but he came in here and he did something. He messed up the cabinets in his final bathroom, and I made him redo it. And he fell out about that, but he did redo it. He got it done right. I said, oh, it's beautiful. Finally, after I cussed your ass out. He ain't been back since. So, but he did get it right. But he did great work over here. You just got to stand over these motherfuckers with a whip, get your ass, and then get to work. Motherfucking paint them damn cabinets over. Then he got the nerve to bring his daughter over here and act like he can talk English. I cussed her ass out too. I said, your daddy can speak English damn well. I don't know why he brought you over here to stand here. He better get his ass in there and paint them motherfucking cabinets. Tell him that. Get this shit right. I had to make him take that paint off them cabinets and spray them cabinets right. But I need a painter to come in one room at a time and paint this house so I can get some of these rooms done, correct some of the stuff inside here. Get some of this paint off these damn walls. But y'all listen. If you're a hoe, and there's a lot of hoes out there, it's something weird about the more attractive a person is. I find this to be the case, and I don't know why. The more attractive a person is, the more hoish they are. And maybe because they can get more, because they're so attractive, they can. I've met some guys at the gym in recent weeks, gay and straight, very attractive guys. And y'all know I'm in the fitness industry. They come up to me, they want to take their bodies to the next level. And every word that comes out their mouth is about fucking and sex. Yeah, I'm fucking this bitch, and I'm fucking this nigga, and I'm doing this, and I'm thinking, do you have anything else to do with your motherfucking time? Do you ever stop and read a book? I mean, do you have any hobbies other than fucking and sex? I'm like, okay, do you have anything else you want to do? And I really have to ask them, do you have anything else that you want to discuss with me? We're discussing working out and exercise and supplements and stuff. I don't want to hear about your sex life. And who you fucking, who you plan on fucking, and when you gonna fuck them, and where you gonna fuck. I don't care. Do you have anything? What about this presidential election? We got Donald Trump trying to take over the country again and destroy this place again. He wants to bring back frisk and whatever was going on up there in New York, frisk and stop and frisk shit. He wants to bring that back and make it a federal law, but they do it nationwide. Are you niggas paying attention to this shit? You're so worried about where you're going to stick your damn dick out. It's like, okay, you about to get Donald Trump about to fuck all our asses. If he get in that damn office, I would take Biden any day over Donald Trump. I'd take Biden if he was deaf, dumb, retarded, on a respirator, on life support. I'd still vote for Biden any damn day over Donald Trump. be laid up there on damn life support. I'm voting for Biden. Got my vote. I don't know about you ignorant niggas. But back to the subject matter here. I've been all over that place in this video. This good coffee this morning. Yeah, Houston, they got a problem down there. When I tell you, I know a lot of people who live in Houston. Another problem. A lot of people who live in Houston used to live in Atlanta. Now they ran their ass down into Houston. And you got a lot of transplants in Houston. Houston is, in a way, very reflective of Atlanta. But Houston got some serious ass problem with some hoes in that damn town. There's some serious ass hoes down there. It is. There's some serious ass hoes in Houston, Texas. They fucking like dogs and hit men and fucking women. They don't give a fuck. And that's why those STD rates are sky high down there. STD and STI rates are high in Texas for a reason, because everybody fucking ain't got shit else to do. It's too hot to do anything else down there. Well, I just wanted to do a video about that. I hope y'all watched the whole video of that reporter down there in Texas. I love his show. But yeah, they got a problem down in Texas. Maybe it's the heat down there. Get them niggas horny as hell. Who knows? But get on PrEP. If you're out there having sex, you can get the pill version or the injectable version. Go to your local health department. I don't care where you live in America. You're just free. I forgot. I'm gonna have to look up the name of this damn doctor selling PrEP for syphilis. This stops you from having syphilis, gonorrhea, chlamydia. It stops it dead in its tracks. But what more y'all want me to do? Shit, I ain't told you what to do, where to get it, and how to get it, and you niggas still ain't gonna do it. I ain't taking them medication. I ain't taking them damn pills. I ain't taking it. If y'all only knew all these guys I've known who told me they were not taking PrEP. They didn't feel they needed PrEP. They not going to take PrEP. PrEP, again, helps prevent HIV infections. They weren't going to take PrEP. But guess what's going on with them today? Now they taking HIV medication because they're HIV positive. They're now living with HIV. That could have been avoided. All they needed was this. And now they got the injectable version. It's so much easier. You ain't have to take a pill every day. I ain't taking no PrEP. I'm taking that mess. I don't think I ain't taking it. I ain't doing that. But they positive today because they were out there fucking. They could have had PrEP that would have prevented them from having HIV. Now, because they weren't using it, well, I guess they wouldn't use no condoms, and God knows what else they weren't doing. And now they're living with HIV. I should have been on PrEP. Well, you were warned. You were told. Can't be that damn stupid out here. I don't know, you know. I mean, again, living HIV ain't that bad now. You just take your medicine. Basically, PrEP is HIV medication. Some differences there, but that's basically what it is. But I'd rather take this to prevent it than having to take it to live. You know, if you don't take your HIV medications, it's going to be a bad scenario. I know plenty of people who died from not taking HIV medication. Plenty. I'm not taking my medicines no more. I'm going natural. 6 months later, they're dead. I said, well, what happened to the natural? So they naturally went to the grave, huh? That was stupid. If you live with HIV, then you might want to take your medicines. If you have high blood pressure, you might want to take your medicines. If you're diabetic, you might want to take your medications. You niggas are insane. Niggas who refuse to take their medicine, we've got everything coming to them. And including if you refuse to take PrEP, you got everything coming to you for being ignorant. But hey, that's on your black ass. And with that said, I'm going to go get me another cup of coffee. It's getting kind of smuggy out here. Go back into this damn house with the air conditioner on. F this shit. I'm paying for this air conditioner. I'm going to go in here and enjoy it. But it's, I got to take these dogs out and mop these floors in here. I didn't have Rosie come clean this weekend. I should have had her come because it was raining all weekend long. I say, since I come in here, it was raining because basically the floors are the problem because everything else is clean. Yeah, I need to do something. I wish I can just sell this damn house and get the fuck up out of here and go get me a nice condo someplace. If I could sell this place and go get me a nice apartment, a penthouse downtown overlooking the city with you niggas down there shooting and killing each other and cars spinning out of control, I'd sit right there on my balcony and sit there and watch all the excitement at midnight. I'd be sitting there watching the niggas down there. Oh, they're shooting. Where they at? The police chasing them now. Excitement because ain't no excitement out here, which is a good thing. I want you niggas to come out here and ruin this vibe out here. It's quiet out here. Just birds chirping. That's it. Anyway, let me go get me some more coffee. I use the bathroom. Today is Monday. It is July 8th. The year is 2024. I'm out, and I'll speak to you all later.